I just got an update for DaVinci Resolve, and when I get a new update, I like to see if everything still works. And the way I do that is I fire up some sort of test video that I've shot before and see if it renders properly and how long it takes. So I happen to have one that I put together for Resolve, and I'm going to fire that up right now. Resolve always takes a long time to load. I don't know why that is, but it's always been like that. And I guess the only good thing is that they give you a different screen to look at on occasion. So there's a little bit of variety. Okay. And this is a picture-in-picture test. And I'll give you an idea what it looks like. It looks just like this. This is some footage I shot in my backyard. And this, Vegas users will probably recognize what that is because it's been used in a Vegas benchmark for many years. And I just dropped it in here because I wanted something to dance around on the screen to get an idea of how well Resolve and Vegas can move a picture around along another picture. These are both H.265 4K videos, and it looks like this. It doesn't do a whole lot. It just bounces around from corner to corner. If you're hearing any sound in the background, that was when I shot the backyard shot. I shot it from inside my living room through a window. And I think there was a TV on in the background. You might recognize the TV show. Okay, that's all that the video does. I'm going to come over to render it now. And I see they're defaulting to QuickTime, but I'm going to make this MP4. And I'm going to restrict this to, this says kilobits per second, but that's not right. It's actually megabits per second, I'm pretty sure. But I'm going to limit this to 48 megabits per second and render it and see how long it takes. I don't know what that is. Probably from once before, but I'm going to make sure that I'm getting the right render. And, oh, I see the file name is not what I want it to be. I want to render this to pip test resolve. And start the render and render it. This doesn't update the screen as rapidly as Vegas does when it's rendering something. I can tell because in many cases it's not even reaching the corner. So it's a lot more of a jerky movement. And it looks like this has rendered in 42 seconds. I'm going to do it again to see if it comes out the same. And what I will also do is I will pull up the task manager so that we can see what performance is going on here. See, I'm getting some good peak performance off of my main video board, which is an AMD Radeon 7. My iGPU, which is on the motherboard itself, is not getting any action at all. So Resolve is not even seeing it or using it. The CPU is getting, looks like it hit 100%. GPU Looks like it might have peaked at about 90%, but was doing about 80 most of the time. For some reason it still thinks it's encoding, but it's not. Okay. Let's see what the time is. 42 seconds, about the same as it was before. So I'm going to exit this now. I'll save it, what the heck. So now I'm going to render this with Vegas 18. This is build 373. It's something that I got. And I happen to have a Vegas project set up pretty much identically to the Resolve project. I put 6-second markers in here with the same design pip screen going to the 4 corners on each marker. And so now I'm going to render this. And I'm going to use the AMD template. And I'm going to customize this template to make it similar to what I did in Resolve and make both of these 48 so that they're comparable. And I'm going to render this to PipTest Vegas MP4. And this thing is moving right along. And I see that it has completed in 30 seconds, which is, I guess, about 10-20% faster than the other one did. It was, what, 44 seconds? Let me run it again and make sure that wasn't a fluke. And I will tell it to render. And I'm going to pull up the task manager so that we can see what's going on here. I see that my Intel, my GPU is decoding like crazy. My AMD is running at 100%. And my CPU is up at around 65. Between 60 and 65. And this time it took 34 seconds, maybe because I got this window open. Try to render it a third time. And it's back to 30 seconds. So I guess when I got the window open over there, it puts a little more load on it, showing you the window. Now I'm going to take a quick look at the two files and just make sure that they're comparable. This is the pip test file I did with Resolve, and this is the one I did with Vegas. I see the one with Vegas that used the AMD renderer is a smidgen larger. It's about 5K larger than this one. Let's take a quick look at the bit rate. I tried to set them the same, but obviously I didn't quite achieve that. I see that this is coming out to 46.4 megabits per second on the video, whereas this one for Vegas .9. So it looks like the Vegas one is hitting the bit rate I told it to hit, and the Resolve one is a little bit low, and that's why the file is smaller. I'm going to fire up Resolve one more time. Let me close Vegas. I just want to double check the GPU sensing. I see I got a different screen this time. I want to first make sure that I got the version right. Yep, 16.2.7. That's the very latest that I could find. And let's take a look at the preferences, memory and GPU. Yes, I'm doing OpenCL, auto GPU selection. Let's see what happens if I set this map. Yeah, it's only seeing one GPU here. So it's not seeing the Intel. So maybe Resolve has had Intel support for years, but I don't have it today. It is seeing my AMD Radeon 7, so that's good. I guess this would be a lot slower if it was not able to use that at all. Well, that's it, folks.